Hello Fit Nation, full of all you functionates, functionites, and everything in between. This, of course, is Dr. Mike. So, for those who have not been following and keeping regular with us, first off, shame on you. Second off, here's the update. So, everyone's been knowing and enjoying about our once a week large podcast where myself, Jim Mad Scientist, Shantae, sometimes we have occasional special guests come on and we talk, about several topics for a good period of time. But, what we decided is we're going to start sending out these little tidbits, little small podcasts individually on one specific topic just to help keep you guys a little bit more functionized throughout the week, give you a little bit more information, really just to help get more word out of really what we believe to help make everybody perform better and healthier. So you'll be seeing all of us, me, myself, Jim, Shantae, posting little podcasts throughout the week. So obviously this is one of them. Feel free to continue checking them out. So the topic today is going to be about back braces. Because I get asked about this every now and then, and really, they're generalized questions about should I wear a back brace? If so, what kind? How long? During what activities? And the short answer is, it's very individualistic and circumstantial. So this is a case-by-case basis. So if you're curious about if you should be wearing a brace, go to your competent healthcare professional. Or, of course, if you're in the Colts Neck area or anywhere in the tri-state area up north around New Jersey, come swing by Functionized, and I'll gladly, go over the exam and see what I think best for you as an individual. But let's go ahead and hit a few statistics here of why could be an issue and my opinion on it. So at any given moment, a third of the U.S. population is suffering from low back pain. That's quite substantial. It gets added to it when you look at 80 to 90% of the U.S. population throughout their lifetime will have at least one severe case of low back pain. And other than just being in pain, this is also one of the leading causes in the U.S. for disability and time away from work, which is really nothing any of us wants to do. So, let's hit real quick back braces of times that they're more likely to be necessary. Post-surgery, if you have had direct trauma and you have true spinal instability. Perhaps if you're a child and you have scoliosis, there might be times to wear a certain type of back brace. And we'll get into the weightlifting style of braces in a few minutes as well. So there are times I'd say, great time to use back braces, but they should always be an adjunct with other types of therapy. Because it's really more of a band-aid than anything else. So you want to make sure you're working on your exercises. Make sure you're developing your core, because the back brace is there to help support or kind of add on to the core musculature that you have. So let's piggyback on that one at this point of reasons why I believe that back braces are highly overused. So, in simple, back braces do exactly what you would expect. They help stabilize and, brace the back. Fantastic. It helps keep it nice and snug. That way we can keep all of our, let's say, innards in. This can lead to a problem over time. The reason being is that our body is fantastic at adapting, meaning that if it doesn't need to use energy for something, it typically won't. For example, our posture. For the most part, it is very well known that as a population, our posture just sucks. It's awful. We're sitting all day with our slooped forward posture instead of being upright, shoulders rolled forward. And in that position that we sit in all day when we're at a desk, it's literally our core's not being fired. So it kind of goes in that if you don't use it, lose it kind of phenomenon. But it's completely true. So if we don't have that core musculature, we cannot have a strong back. The whole point of our core is to keep us upright while we're weight bearing. Even if that weight is just our body weight, and then let alone we're adding something like a backpack, weights, carrying something to us. We need to have that stability. And let me do a quick little mini rant that core and abs are not the same thing. Abs is the vanity, the six-pack, the eight-pack. It really just helps you kind of slowly extend the spine. Again, whereas the core is the stabilizers. That's the back health. So, reason why overuse of the back brace could be an issue if it's not required is, again, braces do exactly what they're supposed to do. They stabilize and embrace the back. But with our bodies being so adaptive, if the brace is there doing the work for us, keeping our spine stable, our bodies will start adapting and saving the energy to where our core is not going to fire as frequently, let alone then all the muscles and the ligaments that help keep the spine upright are going to start atrophying and wasting a little bit because they're not being used because we have that outside hardware doing the work for us. So this is where I mentioned about, back braces can be great, but they're kind of like a crutch. You use them until you don't need them anymore, which can lead to a couple other conversations here of the gym. It's one of the most common times I see people, wear a brace. Obviously, it's a little different than a pain back brace, but it all comes in the same idea, the same concept. Where, let's say if you're a power lifter or someone that's going to be lifting an ungodly or back-breaking amount of weight off the ground or squatting, having that extra little snug support on the core probably isn't a bad idea. I'm talking if you're going to your high rep, getting close to that 80% plus of your maximum weight. Probably not a bad idea. Where it becomes a little bit more of an issue is when you're wearing a brace to stabilize the core during light repetitive activity. Because again, that's kind of what our daily life is light repetitive activity. Picking up a book, moving from around the room with the backpack on, carrying groceries, the standard small stuff. So if our core is being shut off and not used because of the brace during those normal light activities, again, our bodies can get used to it, and you're actually going to increase the chance of you being more prone to injuries when you're not wearing the brace. And again, the last thing we want to do is do anything to promote injuries. You want to get functionized and prevent them. So another example with that, I guess, is I used to work in warehouses, and I remember this guy who he didn't have back pain, but he was trying to be very proactive with it. And we were just loading, a couple thousands of boxes, anywhere from like half a pound to 20 pounds a day. And again, they're not that heavy, but he was wearing the brace constantly during this light movement. And I remember he actually ended up hurting his back while on the job, while wearing the brace. And then he ended up being out. And with low back pain being one of the most common causes of U.S. Population missing work and going on disability, small things like this we've got to try to be a little bit more proactive with to try to get it done. So again, when it comes to core, what can we do about it other than just saying use your core, exercise your core? Because in general, most of the population probably doesn't know how to accurately hit it. Again, we can always tell you more about it here at Functionized, but there are certain exercises like the dead bug is a wonderful one where it's simply trying to keep your back pressured down and flat to lose that curve that almost all of us have in our low back, if you ever heard of lumbar lordosis. And that's the basis of what the core does, is to take out that curve, because a straighter spine in general is a more stable spine. And obviously that is what we're going for. So, with that note, if you're interested or curious in learning a lot more about ways to help develop the core, post stuff down below. Leave comments, ask us what it is that you want us to talk or show you more about. I'll gladly post a video about my favorite core exercises and the way to do them down the road. Again, just help share, keep us all functionized with it. While we're on that, if you're enjoying this and you could think this information is useful, please leave an honest 5-star review. It does help us get more information out there, helps us just spread the Functionized word, help get everybody more fit. As always, also, please direct message us at any time you have any questions, comments, again, or if there's any information that you're curious about that you can't find on your own or you really want to know, just Dr. Mike's and the Mad Scientist's opinion. Again, direct message us either on Facebook or Instagram at Functionized. You can email us at support@functionized.com, or come in and visit us in Colts Neck and tell us yourself. We'll gladly welcome you in and have some Functionized coffee with us in the lobby. So, again, you're going to start hearing a lot more of these little mini podcasts as we go, and don't worry, we'll still have our famous ones that we'll talk about that we do every Friday, post up for the weekends. So, until next time, keep your core strong, focus on your posture, and let's keep a nice healthy spine. Okay, everybody? Until then, Dr. Mike, out.